Hello everyone, welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 2373 named largest local values in a matrix. In this problem, basically we are given a two-dimensional matrix. Now we have to find the largest value in every contiguous 3 by 3 matrix in this grid. Suppose in the first example, let's see that this grid contains 16 elements. And for this first 3 by 3 grid, the largest value is 9. So we have to take 9. For this second 3 by 3 grid, the largest value is also 9. Similarly, for the third 3 by 3 grid, the largest value is 8. And the fourth 3 by 3 grid, the largest value is 6. So this is the problem statement. Basically, we are given a n by n two-dimensional grid, and we have to return a n minus 2 by n minus 2 two-dimensional grid such that each element in the answer grid is the largest value in every contiguous 3 by 3 matrix in the given grid. I hope you understood the problem statement. Now let's move on to the algorithm. Now here, the problem statement and the algorithm is pretty simple. For this input grid, we have to return this output grid. But we have to understand how can we calculate this output grid. So here we have to find the maximum value of each of the corresponding 3 by 3 grid. So for this first grid, the maximum value is 9. So we have to place 9. And for this second grid, the maximum value is also 9. So we have to place 9 once more. For this third grid, the maximum value is 8. So we have to place 8. And similarly, for this last fourth grid, the maximum value is 6. So we have to replace 6 here. Now, how can we find each of the maximum value of the 3 by 3 grid? The algorithm is pretty simple. At first, we have to run a nested loop on the input grid. And suppose we have to run the nested loop for these positions. We cannot run the loop for any of the edge element because for edge element, it does not have 3 by 3 grid. Now, we will run a loop for those element which is not in the boundary or in the edge. So we will not run the loop for this element. Now, in each iteration, we will simply run another nested loop, which is suppose it is I and j. Now, for these 6, the nested loop will run into this 3 row, or it will cover this 9 cell. And similarly, suppose we are in this 6 right now. So the nested loop will be covered this 3 element, this 3 element, and this 3 element. And basically this is how we're gonna solve it. And for each of the iteration, we will simply calculate the maximum of the corresponding 9 value and replace them into a resultant vector. I hope you understood the algorithm. Now let's move on to the code. In this problem, the code is pretty simple. At first, we are given a function named largest local, which has a two-dimensional vector as a parameter. Now, we are taking an answer variable or answer vector with dimension of n by 2 by n by 2. Sorry, it is n minus 2 by n minus 2. Now, we are running the loop excluding the boundary elements. This is the first nested loop. And for each iteration, we will calculate the maximum of the corresponding 9 element or the corresponding 3 by 3 grid element. For this, the nested loop will run into the I minus 1 to I plus 1, which is row minus 1 to row plus 1. And for the inside nested loop, the column will be previous column minus 1 to previous column plus 1. Finally, we have to calculate the maximum by this inner nested loop and insert the corresponding maximum to the answer array. Finally, we have to return the answer array. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching the video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.